here's the percentage of sales, of my total sales per platform. New year, new goals. 2022 is over, 2023 is beginning. Last year was tough. Things just didn't move, and I think it's for a lot of people. Some people did real good. I didn't do bad. It was average year. I sold a lot of cards. But going into 2023, and I've been stating in last videos, I'd be doing what are my goals for 2023? What am I going to do? I can't do everything. So I just picked out a few things. And things will change throughout the year. Now, I got a few goals here I'll go over with you. It encompasses most of the stuff that I'm going to be doing. I might add a couple things throughout the year, and I'll try to share those. But the first thing is, I want to decide what items do I like to or want to sell in 2023. What do I want to do? What items do I want to sell? Next thing is, what sites do I want to sell on in 2023? Etsy, eBay, HIP, stuff like that. The third goal is, what is the dollars I want to make in 2023 in sales and profit? We'll get into details on that. And also, how I'll deal with expenses in 2023. That's a real important area that I think some people miss sometimes, and it's an easy area to save some quick cash. So I'm going to go over how I'm going to achieve these goals in 2023 and make it better for me than in 2022. So what do I want to sell in 2023? Toys, hard goods, bread makers, cars, tires, clothes, or postcards? Postcards, of course, postcards. That's what I want to sell. That's what I've been driving to in the last few years, more and more. And I've decided to take the plunge and get out of all the other stuff. I'll be closing down my eBay toy store. I've been slowly phasing it out over the last 2 years. And by November this year, I should have that store closed down. And the reason it's November is because I have a subscription for a basic store until November. I might end up closing it early if I move all the stuff out of it and stuff like that. Take a little hit from eBay, but I'll try to figure that in. It shouldn't be too much if I get closer to it. I got some stuff in there now, about 600 items, 70 listings, and the flea market will start up and get rid of some of the stuff out there. And I'll see what I end up with if I'm going to close it down. But it's just another reason to turn your head and look at something I don't want to do. Another thing is, I've done it with the toys, the action figures and the vintage toys, the current ones. I had over 6,000 listings, almost 8,000 at one time. I had 3 storage units full of inventory listed, and just boxes and boxes and racks of stuff that I had. I did it. I closed all that down over the last 2 years, and I made a bunch of money, but I just wanted to change. There's a lot of lifting, a lot of stuff like that. Plus, the good stuff is hard to find. You got to clean it. It's not as out there as much. If I look for it, I could probably find it, but it's tougher to find that than postcards. My distributors that I have for the brand new stuff, I mean, I was 9 months from the time I ordered things, and I spaced it out throughout the year. Like right now, if I was still doing the toys, I would be ordering for Christmas time, but I stopped all that because I wasn't getting it. I still have a bunch of orders out there that I don't know when it's going to come in. I have the money put away for it. It's been bought, but I'm just waiting for it to come in. I think it's all that shipping and stuff in the containers. So it's very unreliable. You can't base your business when you're getting it. Some stuff I wanted for Christmas, not last year, year before, it didn't show up until March of the next year, so it was already past Christmas, so I carried it all the way through this year. And so those are some of the things. Plus, I'm spoiled at the ease of postcard storage. You know, I got 100,000 postcards in my office. The packing and shipping, it's just a envelope. I don't have to get tape. I don't have to use bubble wrap. I don't have to buy all that stuff and put in a pickup and do all the stuff like that. So I'm just spoiled. And I just want to reduce the footprint. I've already closed down my 3 storage units and all that stuff. All I have is 2 racks here, some boxes of stuff, and I have a flea market trailer with a few items in there. So I've reduced my footprint over the last 2 years, year and a half, pretty much. So that's what I'm going to be selling, is postcards. By the end of the year, it's going to be basically 99.9% postcard. Then what sites do I want to sell on? I've already figured it out. You've probably seen my other videos. I talked about it in the best practices. But I'm currently on an eBay toy store, a basic store. That's till November this year. I have an eBay postcard store. That's a premium store. Has over 38,000 listings with a quantity of about 100,000 postcards. And I also still have my Etsy store. And that'll be totally closed down about the end of first quarter. There's still some listings in there that went through and they won't expire for 4 months. So they'll be mostly expired in the first week of March. And I still have to pull the 3,000 cards out of my boxes from Etsy so I can get them put back into inventory or list them on eBay. So some of them are boats and ships, the naval ships, so I'll be able to put them back in with the other ones. It's going to take a little time. I'm in no hurry, but there is some good cards that I did put up on Etsy that I would like to sell on eBay. So by the end of first quarter, end of March, I should be 100% off of Etsy. At the end of 2023, I want to be postcard store only on eBay. And I will probably still pick up things when I go to auctions or whatever. I still know what to pick up in the action figures and some of the other things, and sometimes you just can't pass up a deal. So I'll probably have an other category in my eBay postcard store for stuff like that. But I'm being very picky about what I pick up. It's got to have a very good sell-through rate. I got to get it for a good price. It's got to be clean, easy to ship, easy to pack, stuff like that. So I'm going to be very picky on stuff like that, but I still will not pass up good deals. But I won't be buying a U-Haul truck anymore full of action figures like I used to. I used to go out and find those and rent the biggest truck they have, and it would be totally full. And I would have 1 or 2 storage units full of stuff that I'd go through. And I don't want to do that anymore. So that's the sites. I'll be on eBay only, for sure. Then the most important thing is, what is the dollars I want to make in 2023? There's 2 figures. There's sales and there's profit. But first, before we get into what I want to do for 2023, you got to go back and look at your other numbers. Make sure you're realistic with them. So I want to go back and take a look at my 2022 numbers. I'm going to share some data here with you. Here's the percentage of sales, of my total sales per platform. So my eBay postcard store was 69% of my sales. And the little green arrow means what's going to do in 2023. What's my speculation? What do I estimate? I expect that to go up. It's been improving over time. I expect it to continue. And I expect to be hopefully about 80-85% this year. So the green arrow is going up. So that was 69%. My toy store was only 18% of sales. Now remember, a postcard's $5 average sale price, say. Toys, a lot of these I sell for $20, $30, $40, $50. But 18% of my sales was the eBay store. And I expect in 2023 that's going to go down for me because I'm closing the store. Etsy was 6% of my sales. I expect it to go down. HIP was only 1%. Now you know why I'm off of HIP. It's not worth my time. It's going down. I'm already totally off of HIP. Whatnot was a good thing to jump into. Got my money, got out. But I don't see me doing that much Whatnot in 2023 and moving forward. Stuff like that. And I talked about that in the other videos. But that was 4% of my sales. So you can see I made some considerable amount of money. I got rid of a lot of my older cards that I had in box 1 through 5, 1 through 4. So really my box number 1 is, I wanted to get it to 2019 is my oldest card in my inventory. Where before that it was a lot older. That's the listed date. So Whatnot was good for that. If I want to do it again, I will probably bulk up some things on there. But 4% of my sales, I expect that sales to go down. YouTube. Now I do YouTube and I am monetized. So when you watch videos or people do things, I do get a little bit. 0.35% of my sales is YouTube. So 0.35%. A lot of people think you make a lot of money on the ads. No. You got to be the big guys. You got to have tens and 20s of thousands of people where you really make the money. And they do a lot of sponsors. That's where you really get in to make a lot of money on YouTube. But why do you do it then? I'm just not here to make money. I'm here to learn. I like doing videos. I learn just as much as everybody else does when I do these videos and stuff. And I enjoy the editing. I never was an editor for videos and worked with that kind of software and applications and technology. Just something new to learn. You got to keep moving. So 0.35% is all YouTube gave me last year. I think I'm in the hole on YouTube. But the knowledge and the value and the friendships and the community we built is priceless. That's where the money is and stuff. That's where the value. And other things like affiliate links. Someone buys a coffee mug. That all supports the store. That was only about 1%. I rounded up. That's only like 1% of the sales. I don't make a lot of money on that stuff. It's just another novelty, it helps to pay for a camera or the video software I pay for, stuff like that, just to try to break even with the YouTube. But that's the total sales. They kind of equal 100% close to it, but I did some rounding, so it might be off just a little bit if you add all the numbers up. But that's where my sales are. And you might see why I'm really pushing for the postcards is because that's where the bulk of my sales was. And I want to keep moving that way. Get rid of all these other distractions, and I can do YouTube and postcards. Just think of that, just 2 things. You go into work today, and your boss tells you got 20 floors to mop and clean and sweep. And then later on, he comes to you and says, your new job is you only have to do 2 floors. That's all I gotta do. I only have to clean 2 floors. Sweeping 2 things, YouTube and postcards by the end of the year. That's it. And flea market. But I'm really gonna be helping my follow out this year more than anything. I got some toys and stuff to bring out there, and I got some stuff in the trailer, but I cleaned out a lot of it last year because we weren't planning on doing that much this year, but this year he wants to do a little bit more than what he said. So we'll be helping him a little bit more out there. But we'll be scaling that down over the next couple of years as well. The flea markets aren't where we sell. A lot of people are leaving out of the barns. They have these barns there where people have booths and stuff. They haven't been doing real well, and it's been kind of surprising. They always did well in there, but last 2 years, especially last year, they've lost a lot of the vendors. So we're seeing a decline in that, so we don't want to put a lot of effort in that until we see what's going on. We'll always do good. We have good stuff. We sell it for cheap and stuff like that, and we don't have a big overhead. I think it costs us $20 to sell on a Sunday, and I reserved a spot for $80 so I can go in and out anytime I want. That's more of a convenience for us. So no one gets our spot, and we're kind of off the beaten path, so everybody knows who we are. My father-in-law's been selling out there for like 45 years. Now I need to make up some of this sales dollars that I'm going down just to beef it up some. And I'm going to be doing that by reducing my expenses, so I don't need as much sales and still meet the profit. And also I need to increase my average sale price. I've talked about that before in some videos. So my average sale price needs to go up and my expenses need to go down to help the bottom line, because I won't have that 18% from the toy store and some of these other things this year. Even though I know I'm going to be reducing my in-pocket money. One of the things to increase the ASP is I've been really focused on buying postcards in smaller lots, smaller collections, paying up a little bit, but trying to make sure they were not ever put on eBay or online somewhere. These are collections that haven't been in circulation. They're in good shape, they're good cards and stuff like that, and I've been doing pretty well with that. My ASP has went up over the last few months. If I can just bring it up 50 cents to $1, I'll be happy for 2023. Now, people talk about listing goals. Everybody says you have to list every day to sell things. Guys, all those hacks this year and last year, I don't put much stock into a lot of stuff. I just do what I do. My goal the last couple of years has been 50 cards a day average. That's after taking out what's sold as well. One day I might do 10, the next day I do 100, one day I do 60, the next day I do 30. For the year, I would like to have an average around 50 cards a day. And that will give the store enough stuff, gets me moving my stock, and it's not burning my brain out. If I sat here and did 100, 200 cards a day, you're sitting here for hours and going through and just, Some days I do that, but a lot of times anymore, I'd like to do 25 to 50. Some days, like today, I'm just doing videos. I'm not listing at all. I've got enough listings. So 50 cards a day is always been my goal, and that's probably what I'll keep it at this year. So when I come up in, what number do you want to hit? How much sales? I hear a lot of people talk about, I want to do 80,000 this year. I want to do $100,000. I want to do 60,000. How did they come up with that number? Is always my question. Show me some data how you came up saying you want to get $80,000. Well, I did this much last year. Okay, can you do it again? Why don't you go to 120,000? Or are you going to drop? They have what they feel and what's happening in their business are two different things. Just because you got a pocket full of money doesn't mean you're doing well. That money might have been already spent. You got to have some numbers, some data. You don't have to be accountant wizards. You just got to know what's going in. You got to have more money coming in than going out. That's cash flow. I'm doing it this year by looking at the minimum I want to make. I'm not saying I want to make $80,000 or $30,000. So instead of looking at the top number, I'm looking at the bottom. It's easier for me. What do I need? I need to make a certain amount of money to pay the bills. eBay bills, taxes, stuff like that for the store. Boxes, envelopes. I need to make a certain amount of money. What is that number? So over a while, I've been looking at this for a while, and I come up with a number. I'd like to do $70 a day average sales. Is all I want and need in 2023. Some people say, $70, that's nothing. You can't live on that. This is not my sole income. This is a supplement. I can do without it. I would be just fine. This is the do things. We're retired, and it's just looking for a little extra money to make it fun. That's it. And I enjoy postcards selling and doing all this stuff. So it's not my sole income. So $70, I'm fine with. Everybody has different needs and wants, and this is mine. I'm not going to kill myself doing this. I did that for years, and I retired not to go and work 60, 80 hours a week again. But some days are going to be lower and some days are going to be higher. This is an average, $70 a day. Some people feel if they have one bad day, the whole world's falling apart. I don't look at it that way. I look at it a month, quarter, 6 months, year. You need to make decisions by the 6-month mark for the year. Otherwise, it's hard to dig out of it. So you need to watch that. But if I do $70 a day in sales, times 365 days in a year, that's $25,550 in sales. Nice little add-on. But then you got to take stuff out. You got to do a bunch of stuff. So what if I say I want a profit of 40%? Everybody says, well, you only want 40%? Postcards give you more than that. Sure it does. I'm going to reinvest in the business. I'm going to buy some more postcards. I'm going to do some other things. Get the reinvest. I'm not going to show 60, 70% profit. I'm going to use that money to grow my business. So 40% to me sounds like a nice round number. That's $10,220 a year, or $852 a month. Profit. After everything's paid for, everything's done, that's what I get, is $800, $900 a month. That's fun money. That's good. Also, $70 a day is very doable, and it's not adding an extra lot of time. I'm not killing myself trying to reach some arbitrary number I came up with, like $200-300 a day. $70, as you'll see at the end here, how many cards is that? But this is the bottom number. If I do better, that's okay. Everybody likes doing better, but this is the bottom. So my business goals and expenses will be set at $70 average a day for 2023. I do expect to exceed it. Now, if the bottom falls out of the economy, I will be fine, because like in 2022, it was pretty tough. Sales were not all there for a lot of people and myself. But I think I was down some percentages in 2022. But it told me I can make $70 a day. So if I'm trying to do $300 a day and the economy is still not up to par, I'm struggling and fighting up that hill. I'm driving on a flat road. I don't have any hills. I already know where I'm going to be, and I made it no problem. So I don't need to struggle. I just need to manage my business at that. So $70 a day in sales is my goal. Reducing expenses. is probably a big thing I do all the time. And from having other businesses and managing $1 million budgets and stuff, expenses can get hidden, and you need to watch them. You gotta watch what's going out. So I want to reduce I set a goal to myself last year to reduce my expenses by $2,000, and I did that. The year before was a little bit more, and I'm slowly running out of things to do, so I made it realistic. I said I want to reduce my expenses this year by $1,000 to what I spent last year on certain things. I can't control what the cost of these envelopes and stuff like that are, but I can control some other things, as you'll see. So I'm already streamlined on expenses. I'm getting down to the bottom of the barrel. The pickles were almost gone. I gotta find some other things. One of the things I'm going to do is continue to use cash only. I do not carry debt anywhere in personal life or business. Everything is paid for, and that's going to continue. If I don't have the money, I don't buy it. Even though I really, really want it, I just don't do it. I don't want that monthly expense. Now, I don't live cheaply. I don't squeeze ketchup packets into the bottle. We live a modest life, but we also don't carry any debt, and I don't do that. I look through my subscriptions. There's all these subscriptions out there you can get on your phone and different things, the $9 one, the $8 one, and I always make sure every so often that I'm using what I'm paying for. If not, I cancel the subscription. They're not going to get that $10 out of me every month. Also, I put away money every month for my taxes and my larger expenses that I pay yearly. And that'd be like the business insurance. I pay, say, $400. I divide that by 12, and every month that goes into an account called taxes. I have the bank account, and that goes into there. Also, for taxes, you can figure out what you need to pay quarterly or yearly. So if you're going to make $12,000 profit this year, divide by 12, that's $1,000 a month. I have to put $150, $200 away every month. If you try to do it at the end, you might have spent that money. So every month I put money away. I already have 2023 full year estimated tax expenses put away. I already have all my expenses that I think I'm going to spend for 2023 put away. I also have a fund for unexpected things. Or if somebody comes in with a bunch of postcards that I want to buy, I have that money put away. So I'm already ahead of myself. It took me a while to get there with the business, but I have all that put away into funds. Just because I got $1,000 or something sitting somewhere doesn't mean I need to spend it. I'm pretty frugal about that stuff, so I have all that money put away for my taxes and my expenses. Now, there is some expenses I don't look at real close, like the eBay store charges and stuff like that. These are above and beyond expenses, but I have that put away. Also, another thing people need to do is, if you're using eBay standard envelope, make sure you're submitting the claims. Just this year, and I don't get a lot of returns or lost stuff, even toys or postcards. I've gotten back over $65 this year in insurance returns from eBay standard envelope insurance, because the customer said they did not get the postcard, even though it said delivered and stuff. I wait 30 days before 90 days and put it in. I refunded the buyer over $60 some. I got that money back. It might take a little bit to get back, but that's $65 that I didn't have to worry about. I got it back, so that's another place to get money. But let's walk through this, how I'm going to save $1,000 in 2023. And I'm already getting there. I've done a couple things already. So let's work through this. Stick with me. Probably the easiest. Since I'm closing down these other accounts in my toy store, I have different bank accounts, business bank accounts that I had to keep the money separate for what I was buying. One of them is for the toy store and stuff, because my distributor pulls, whenever I buy something from my distributors, I drop that money into that account, and I don't use it. That's money just like the tax and the expenses. I don't use, that's money I already spent. So I wanted to put it somewhere, but I didn't want to mix it up, so I created the bank. We worked together and got another bank account, and I put it in there. But since I'm not going to be doing that, I'm going to close that out in 2023, and that was only $5 a month. But times 12, that was $60 a year. So take that away from the $1,000, I only got $940 to go to meet my goal. So we're on our way. And I'll probably have that closed before this video is out. I just got to call the lady at the bank. – Cloud storage. When I started YouTube and different things like that, I didn't have the storage space that I wanted, and I wanted it off-site. I was trying to build the business up, and I just figured I would want some stuff off-site, especially with the YouTube videos and stuff like that, and some of the software I got and some of the data, but I don't need it anymore. One reason is I was able to install a new solid-state drive, an SSD, in my main PC I use. It's a terabyte or so. And I was able to do that in there, and I have put in another hard drive in there, so I have two hard drives of the same type, same size. I'm just going to duplicate the drives. Whatever goes on one drive, I'm going to write the program to move it over. There's programs that do that to mirror the drive. So I'll have double there. And also, with what we've always had here, is I have an online backup application that I use for the main PC, and my wife, that she does the brailing. She's a certified brailer for the visually impaired, and she does textbooks for colleges. She'll read what's in the textbook, and she'll do some notes. Well, some of those books, she's got hours and days and months into them, and we never want to lose that. So we have this online service that pulls that. So I already have that for backup. So I can get rid of the cloud storage, which is $120 a year. But I had to buy the hard drive. But I wanted to make sure I was okay. So $120 minus $50 for the hard drive. So I have a savings already of $70. So now I got $870 to go to get to my 1,000 goal. Went over and we talked with the insurance lady. I reduced my business insurance for 2023 by moving some things around and stuff. And yes, I do carry business insurance even for postcards. These postcards are not covered under my house insurance if there was a fire or a flood or anything. And it also keeps me a liability out there with the flea market and stuff. So I reduced that by $300 by sitting down with her for 2023 and going forward. So I'm going to take that off in 2023. I'm not going to pay $300. So now I'm down to $570 already. And we're not even basically done with January. Then, when I started YouTube, I was learning how to do things with image software, and I found this really neat program that I use. But it's web-based, and it was $25 a month. And I thought, I got pretty good at it. I really liked it. But I said, there's got to be something else out there. And I've been looking and looking and looking, and finally one influencer for YouTube mentioned a program. Let me see if I can tell you what it is. It's called Affinity Photo that I'm working with. It's kind of like Photoshop, but you don't have the fees on there. You have a one-time fee, and right now they have a sale on, and I have to pull the trigger to do it by the 25th of January of paying $41 one time and have it for life. And I've watched some stuff, and it will do what I need it to do. I just need to learn it, so I need to either do it or keep paying that. But I was paying $25 a month times 12. That's $300 a year for that really neat program that I really like. Now I'm only going to pay $41 one time, not reoccurring. That's $259 savings. So that's $311 left to go that I got to find. So where is the rest? Is what I gotta work up here. I got $311 to go for the rest of the year. So how am I going to reduce that for the rest of the year? But if we break down 311 divided by 12, that's $25 a month, and divided by, say, 30 days, it's about 90 cents a day I need to find to save to reach my $1,000 goal. Where can I find that? Office supplies, packing and shipping material, tape. I'm not using a lot of that anymore. What if I buy these a little cheaper? These envelopes, the sleeves a little cheaper. I watch my refunds and stuff like that. So I gotta find $1 a day. I think I can do that on there. So I think I can hit that $1,000 savings of my expenses on there. And I've reached most of it already by the first quarter of the year. So that's how I think about expenses. So we talked about the goals so far, what items I want to sell, postcards, what sites I want to be on, eBay. I want to sell $70 a day. How am I going to deal with expenses? I set a goal to save $1,000. And I'm 3/4 of the way through it now. Now, one of the things about average sale-through price, if you know your average sale-through price or close to it, and you have a bottom number, like $70 a day, you can figure out approximately how many postcards it's going to take you to sell. That is, how many postcards do you need to sell at an average price of $5 to make $70 a day? So if I took $70 and divided it by $5, I need to sell 14 postcards a day at $5 each to make $70. Now just think if my average sale price was $6. I'd only need to sell 11 cards. So by going out there and finding better cards, I'm hopefully going to get my average sale price up. Now if I can get it up to $7, I only need to sell 10 cards to make my a day to make my $70 a day. Now just for laughs, about all those people that sell these postcards for 99 cents or $1.50, I put it up there. What if my average sale through price was $1.50 and I wanted to hit $70 a day? I'd have to sell 46 cards to reach $70 if I was selling postcards at $1.50. That's why I throw it in there. But I wanted to show you how I work through this, and I know some people will balk at the $70, but everyone's needs and wants are different, and these are mine for 2023. As always, I'm going to continue to track these numbers throughout the year of 2023. I'm going to share with you about my great plan here, and if I made any changes in how I'm doing. For example, how many days out of the year have I hit $70 in sales? I can give you that percent. I usually don't give a lot of dollar numbers, but say out of 15 days out of a month, I made $70 exactly, or I beat 70 or more. That's a 50% on there, and I'll say, hey, I'm doing pretty good with this, or I'm not doing real well on there. I'll share that. But you want to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. You hit that bell icon because I'm going to be doing updates and stuff. I put out weekly videos on special topics and what I sell and some other things like that. So you go through the library, over 150 videos I have, and you'll see what we do with postcards. It's not a bad niche to be in. Now YouTube here is going to show you a video that they think you want to watch. So go ahead and click here and watch the next video. You have a good day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.